Our allies have mobilized about $1 billion for weapons for the armed forces of Ukraine through the Pearl program. The funding is intended to stabilize the front and strengthen Ukraine's position. Among the largest donors are Norway, Germany, and Canada. This became known during the meeting of NATO foreign ministers in Brussels. Anna Hrishina has the details from there.
One after another, NATO countries are allocating new military and financial support to Ukraine, as was announced in Brussels at the meeting of foreign ministers. And the alliance leadership confirmed the flow of aid to our country will continue. £10 million for the restoration of Ukrainian energy infrastructure destroyed by Russia is being allocated by the United Kingdom. $200 million from Canada, another 100 for missiles from Poland, and $500 million from Norway for the purchase of American weapons for the armed forces of Ukraine.
The aid will be divided into two packages, one jointly with Germany and Poland, the other with Germany and the Netherlands. Because right now is truly the right moment to strengthen support for Ukraine. They need to be able to negotiate from a position of strength. It is also important that we already know and remember, when this war finally ends, Ukraine must be able to defend itself against any resumption of hostilities.
European ministers also discussed the frozen assets of the Russian central bank, which could also be used for the benefit of Ukraine. While a number of countries, such as the Baltic states, insist on transferring the funds, Belgium, which holds most of the money, continues to say no, even when the European Commission proposed a new mechanism for their seizure.
Belgium, without a doubt, supports the need to cover Ukraine's financial needs. But there are different options for how to do this. We have repeatedly said that we consider the reparations loan option to be the worst of all possible, as it is risky. No one has ever done anything like this before.
On the sidelines of the ministerial meeting, a session of the Ukraine-NATO Council also took place. The head of our Ministry of Foreign Affairs personally took part. He proposed to his colleagues to synchronize sanctions pressure on the aggressor so that all partners would strengthen it equally. Andriy Sybiha had a one-on-one conversation with the Secretary General of the Alliance, where they discussed both the progress in efforts to achieve peace and the next steps to end the war.
We discussed steps to strengthen Ukraine's defense and resilience, as well as ways to increase pressure on Russia. I am grateful to NATO and its member states for their support. Andriy Sybiha, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine.
The bloc's member states have left Ukraine the right to decide on NATO membership, and at the same time, they have reached agreements to finance the purchase of weapons for the armed forces of Ukraine in the amount of $1 billion.
Ukraine continues to demonstrate incredible resilience. Putin believes he can outlast us, but we are not going anywhere. We are strengthening our support for Ukraine and increasing pressure on Russia. This includes countering Russia's shadow fleet and other measures that create strategic challenges for the Kremlin.
NATO is confident that if Russia refuses a ceasefire, the United States will consistently continue its military and financial support for Ukraine, together with the EU countries and Canada. The alliance is convinced that Russia can only be brought to peace through pressure, so they have agreed to continue it with both sanctions and new tranches to support Ukraine. Reporting from Brussels, Anna Hrishina, We Ukraine Marathon, United News.